You're listening to the Faeries and Folklore podcast by Ronel. I'm dark fantasy author Ronel Janse van Vuuren. With over a decade of digging around in dusty folklore books, researching creatures of imagination that ignited my curiosity, I'm here to share the folklore in a nutshell and how I reimagined it for my writing in An Origin of the Fae. This is the Faeries and Folklore podcast. Hi, I'm your host, Ronel Janse van Vuuren. You can just call me Ronel. In today's episode, we're continuing our exploration of the Fae realm. This episode is brought to you by my Dark Court Sisters book series, available in ebook, paperback, and audiobook. 3 sisters, 3 destinies, 3 ways to destroy the world. Go to ronelthemythmaker.com/Dark Court Sisters series for more. You can now support my time in producing the podcast, researching, writing, and everything else involved by buying me a coffee. This can be a once-off thing, or you can buy me coffee again in the future at your discretion. Go to buymeacoffee.com/Ronel to support me. We're continuing our exploration of the Dark Fae. Today's fairy, Kishi, Folklore in a Nutshell by Ronel. Like most African Fae, there's not a lot written about the Kishi. This two-faced creature from Angola has a handsome human face and a hyena face at the back of his head that he hides with long hair. They dwell in the hills and go into villages to seduce young women who they then terrorize and feed on. Just like a hyena, it's impossible to escape the jaws of a Kishi. According to the Amundu tribe of Angola, the Kishi killed the cultural hero Kimanuzi. In most lore, the Kishi takes a human wife who he then impregnates, and once she's delivered the babe, she is killed, either by her husband or by her Kishi baby. The lesson here, stay away from charming, handsome strangers, or they rip your face off with their hyena jaws. And now for my interpretation of the Fae in An Origin of the Fae, Kishi. Singular, Kishi. Plural, Makishi. Extremely handsome men. They look like airbrushed models. They have long hair like in centuries gone by. Their luscious locks hide their hyena faces at the back. They prefer to live in mountains and hills. Their caves smell awful, and is filled with the skeletons of previous meals. They have a stone of power that gives them their magic and has the ability to block or absorb the powers of other magic users. They enjoy the fear they provoke and feed off it as much as the flesh of their victims. Though they are only male Kishi, they mate with humans to bring forth more offspring. The women are eaten by the pack after she's given birth. I hope that you've enjoyed this episode of the Faeries and Folklore podcast and that you've learned something new about fairy. Remember that you can get a transcript of this episode in the description. If you're new to the podcast, why not go and grab your free copy of Unseen, the second book in the fairy tale series, on my website, ronelthemythmaker.com. Loads of folklore, magic, and danger await. Take care.